The saxophone stopped playing, and 15 jazz enthusiasts watched as River Phoenix and Johnny Depp were told that actors can't play real blues at a legendary Sunset Strip jazz club. West Hollywood, June 1992. The Blue Note occupies a basement venue on Sunset Boulevard where authentic jazz culture survives amid commercial entertainment district development that threatens independent music venues with corporate chain restaurant replacement. This isn't a trendy nightclub featuring background music for social networking. It's a serious jazz establishment where musical excellence takes precedence over celebrity accommodation and authentic artistic expression defines venue atmosphere. The club embodies genuine jazz tradition, intimate tables accommodating serious listeners rather than casual socializers, stage lighting designed to showcase musical performance rather than audience visibility, acoustic architecture optimized for live music appreciation rather than conversation facilitation that reduces artistic expression to background entertainment. River Phoenix, 22 years old, sits at a corner table nursing a beer while absorbing the musical complexity that defines authentic jazz performance, his attentive listening reflecting genuine appreciation for artistic expression that requires years of dedicated practice to achieve professional competency levels. Beside him, Johnny Depp studies the musician's technical expertise with characteristic intensity, his own musical background providing foundation for understanding jazz performance demands that extend far beyond entertainment industry musical requirements designed for commercial rather than artistic success. This level of improvisation is incredible, River observes quietly, noting the spontaneous musical communication between performers whose individual expertise combines into collective artistic expression that can't be rehearsed or manufactured through studio production techniques. Different universe than film music, Johnny agrees, recognizing the parallel between authentic jazz performance and genuine artistic expression that prioritizes creative integrity over commercial appeal designed to satisfy audience expectations rather than challenge artistic boundaries. Their evening begins with appreciation for musical culture that operates independently of entertainment industry influence, seeking authentic artistic experience that exists for its own sake rather than serving commercial purposes or celebrity career advancement opportunities. The Blue Note attracts serious jazz musicians, dedicated music students, and various cultural enthusiasts whose appreciation for jazz reflects deep engagement with American musical tradition rather than casual consumption of trendy entertainment designed to provide social atmosphere without requiring intellectual investment. Most celebrities who come here expect to sit in with the band, explains Sarah Chen, a regular patron whose own musical knowledge encompasses decades of jazz history study. They assume fame translates into musical competency and that musicians should be honored by celebrity participation regardless of actual ability levels. As their visit progresses, both actors demonstrate genuine respect for jazz musicians whose expertise represents lifetime dedication to artistic development that most entertainment industry professionals never achieve, despite greater financial success and public recognition. The evening's featured performer is Marcus Blue Washington, a 60-year-old saxophonist whose 5-decade career includes recording with jazz legends, touring internationally, and mentoring younger musicians whose artistic development he guides through patient instruction rather than commercial shortcuts. Washington represents authentic jazz tradition, technical mastery earned through countless hours of practice, emotional depth developed through personal experience that informs musical expression, artistic integrity that prioritizes creative authenticity over financial success or popular appeal. He approaches the stage with quiet confidence earned through decades of musical excellence, his presence commanding attention from audience members who recognize genuine artistic authority, rather than manufactured celebrity that depends on publicity rather than competency. Tonight we're playing some traditional blues arrangements, Washington announces, his voice carrying authority earned through musical achievement. Real blues comes from lived experience, not theoretical knowledge or emotional performance for entertainment purposes. As Washington and his quartet begin performing,
River and Johnny appreciate musical sophistication that requires years of study and practice to understand fully, recognizing artistic excellence that extends beyond their current musical knowledge despite genuine interest in learning. That's when their conversation with Washington takes an unexpected confrontational turn during the break between sets. Washington approaches their table with professional courtesy mixed with skepticism earned through distinguishing genuine music appreciation from celebrity tourism that treats jazz venues like entertainment destinations rather than serious artistic environments requiring respectful engagement. "Gentlemen," Washington says, settling into an empty chair at their table, "I understand you both have musical interests beyond your film careers. What brings you to authentic jazz rather than the commercial music scenes that usually attract entertainment industry people?" The question immediately creates subtle tension as other patrons recognize potential evaluation of celebrity musical credibility by someone whose expertise commands respect throughout jazz community and whose opinion influences how serious musicians view outsiders who claim musical interest. Johnny responds with enthusiasm about his musical background and current projects that blend different genres, his tone reflecting confidence in musical abilities developed through years of personal interest rather than professional musical training or formal jazz education. "I've been playing guitar for years and recently started exploring blues influences," Johnny explains, his voice showing pride in musical development. "We're here because we want to understand authentic American musical traditions that inform contemporary artistic expression." Washington listens politely, but his expression suggests professional assessment of Johnny's musical knowledge and understanding of blues tradition that extends far beyond casual guitar playing or superficial genre exploration that most amateur musicians mistake for genuine musical competency. "Blues influences," Washington repeats thoughtfully, his tone carrying subtle skepticism about Johnny's grasp of musical tradition. "Tell me, what do you understand about the relationship between blues expression and lived experience that creates authentic emotional content?" River senses growing tension as Washington's question reveals depth of musical knowledge required for genuine blues understanding that extends beyond technical guitar skills toward emotional and cultural comprehension that most outsiders lack. Johnny continues describing his musical projects and artistic goals, his confidence increasing despite Washington's probing questions that seem designed to evaluate rather than encourage his musical development and understanding of jazz tradition. "We're actually considering forming a band that combines different musical influences," Johnny explains, his enthusiasm evident, "incorporating blues elements with contemporary sounds that reflect our generation's musical perspective and artistic vision." Washington's expression hardens slightly as Johnny's response reveals assumptions about musical development that contradict jazz tradition emphasizing years of study, mentorship, and gradual competency development rather than immediate creative expression based on limited technical knowledge. 8 seconds pass as Washington processes Johnny's musical ambitions and apparent lack of understanding about blues tradition that requires deep cultural knowledge and emotional authenticity rather than technical ability combined with creative confidence. "Actors can't play real blues," Washington declares, with devastating precision earned through distinguishing authentic musical expression from performance that mimics emotional content without understanding cultural context and personal experience that creates genuine blues feeling. His words land with particular force because they come from someone whose musical authority can't be questioned, exposing fundamental disconnect between entertainment industry confidence and musical tradition that demands humility, sustained study, and cultural respect rather than creative ambition. Other club patrons turn their attention toward confrontation that represents larger tensions between celebrity artistic dabbling and authentic musical culture that prioritizes expertise development over creative expression based on fame rather than competency.
Johnny's face shows immediate defensiveness as his musical confidence encounters direct challenge from expert whose authority he can't dismiss.
his celebrity pride conflicting with criticism that questions not his sincerity, but his understanding of musical tradition. But before Johnny can respond with arguments that might escalate confrontation toward more serious consequences for both celebrity-musician relationships and club atmosphere, River Phoenix intervenes with humility that demonstrates greater understanding of their position as students rather than peers. "Mr. Washington," River says respectfully, his voice carrying genuine curiosity rather than wounded pride, "can you help us understand what we're missing about blues tradition? We want to learn from your expertise, rather than assuming our musical interest automatically qualifies us as competent musicians." Washington's expression shifts appreciatively at River's acknowledgement of musical hierarchy and willingness to accept student status rather than claiming peer relationship with professional musicians whose expertise represents lifetime achievement. River continues with growing understanding. "When you say actors can't play real blues, are you talking about technical limitations or something deeper about cultural understanding and life experience that informs authentic musical expression?" The question demonstrates River's recognition that blues authenticity involves more than musical technique, requiring cultural knowledge and emotional depth that can't be acquired through casual study or celebrity confidence in artistic ability. Johnny processes River's approach and Washington's expertise, his defensiveness gradually replaced by recognition that genuine musical learning requires accepting guidance from masters whose knowledge extends far beyond his current understanding, despite years of personal musical interest. "Mr. Washington," Johnny says quietly, his earlier confidence replaced by genuine curiosity, "I want to understand blues tradition respectfully rather than appropriating musical forms I don't fully comprehend. Can you teach me about the relationship between lived experience and authentic musical expression?" Washington recognizes both actors' revised approach and willingness to accept student status, his expression softening as he appreciates their shift from confidence toward humility that enables genuine musical education. Over following hours, Washington shares stories about blues tradition, cultural context, and the relationship between personal experience and authentic musical expression, helping both actors understand musical authenticity as cultural heritage rather than artistic technique that can be learned without cultural understanding. The club watches with growing respect as two celebrities demonstrate genuine willingness to learn from musical masters whose expertise demands recognition regardless of entertainment industry success or public fame. Years later, both actors speak about the Blue Note experience as educational about musical tradition, cultural respect, and artistic humility that requires acknowledging expertise beyond their current knowledge while maintaining commitment to respectful learning rather than appropriation. Washington occasionally references that evening as example of how celebrity musical interest can develop into genuine appreciation when famous people choose learning over assumption and cultural respect over artistic confidence that lacks foundation in traditional knowledge. 8 Seconds in a Jazz Club in 1992, one moment when celebrity musical confidence met authentic tradition before humble recognition enabled learning. One choice that transformed potential cultural appropriation into respectful education and proved that genuine artistic development requires accepting guidance from masters whose expertise extends beyond entertainment industry success. The evening that showed real musical authenticity requires cultural understanding rather than technical ability alone, because blues tradition depends on lived experience and cultural knowledge that can't be acquired through celebrity confidence or entertainment industry success.